My name is Nathan Laurie. If you are new here, we talk about the law and the facts. If you're about that life, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. So this is a gift from Depp's team. Testimony concerning Mr. Depp's arrest record should be excluded because it's unrelated to Heard's claims and it's too remote and all this stuff, and it's too prejudicial. So let's look over some of these things. First, Johnny Depp was arrested in 1989 for assaulting a security guard in Canada. So that was one arrest that he was. Again, 1989, long ago, but it did happen. In 1994, he was arrested for trashing a New York hotel room while he was staying with then-girlfriend Kate Moss. Again, another arrest. Let's keep that out. Another one, 1999, he was arrested for threatening paparazzi with a plank of wood outside of a London hotel. So again, this was, he said, they said, hey, we don't want any of this stuff to come in because it's not really related to, the issue of the case. It also may be too prejudicial, and it's so far removed. We're talking about things that are 15, 20 years before he even met with Amber. This is not him abusing his spouse or any of his relationships. This is him having arguments and being just arrested with other people. Again, the same thing with Amber, right? It's like, is this relevant? Is this not relevant? All this doesn't seem relevant to the current issue at hand. Again, this one was one of Depp's ex-girlfriends, Elaine Barkin, once testified that he acted throwing a bottle of wine at her. This is false. So this headline actually is false. She didn't testify because we all saw it in the trial. She testified that he tossed. She didn't throw. She didn't say throw. He tossed the bottle across the room. They said that he's throwing a bottle at her. So even in these headlines, that headline is false. She came in and testified to it, but it wasn't like it's like a nothing level thing. So he tossed the wine bottle across the room, not even at her. So it shows you how crazy some of these things are. But he didn't throw it at her. She testified to that. And then Depp is currently filing a lawsuit from a location manager who alleged that Depp punched him on the set of, and that's in 2017. So these are the things that Depp's team wanted to keep out. And they wanted to keep out because they said the probative value of the testimony regarding prior arrest and misconduct is substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice and the likelihood of misleading the jury. So Depp is saying that, hey, even though these things did happen, number one, they were arrests, number two, this again, the same arguments that Amber's making on her side, saying that we should just focus in on the evidence induced at trial about our particular thing. So that's what they asked to keep out. So now we know what Amber wanted to keep out and what Depp wanted to keep out. He wanted to keep out all these arrests, that were 15, 20 years ago, and she wanted to keep out all these arrests for domestic violence and for her juvenile record, and they both were kept out. So now I want to bring it back. Those were all the crimes, prior bad acts that both Amber Heard wanted to keep out and Johnny Depp wanted to keep out, and they were kept out. So who got the best of it? Think about this, and I keep thinking about this. I'm posing this question to you people out there. Think about this. If all this information had come out at that time, if all this information had come out at that time, both Depp's past and Heard's past, do you think it would have changed the outcome? Do you think people would have been like, she's got all these things that happened in the past, but she's got all these things that, would it had changed the outcome? Would it made people more sympathetic to her? Would it made people more sympathetic to Depp? I don't know. I think it kind of was a wash because they both have kind of mixed histories, but I think it's hard to get around a DV arrest, a domestic violence arrest, when the trial is about domestic violence, right? So I think that would have been a linchpin for Amber. So